Hi everyone, another video. Trying to post videos more regularly on my channel again now. The channel is all about the stuff I love, and right at this moment in time, as I explained in my last video, I'm into lightsabers. Did a Jedi costume, which I've been wearing over the last few months, and as part of that I've gotten really interested in lightsabers and lightsaber hilts. And so last time I showed you an Obi-Wan episode 4 hilt from a Chinese company called LGT. Most of my saber hilts are from them. As I explained last time, these hilts aren't super accurate, but they're really good for costuming and for dueling and that sort of thing. They have reasonable electronics, they are very good quality, and they look like the character hilts that they're supposed to be. They're not 100% accurate, but they're accurate enough, I think, for costuming and that sort of thing. Yeah, today's review is going to be another of their hilts. This once again came from Padawan Outpost. I'll leave a link in the description below to their web store. Very, very good family run company, great customer service, really good delivery times. They hold stock in the UK where I'm living, so there's no drop shipping. Great company to deal with. This is one of their saber boxes, same box as I showed with the last saber. And today I'm going to be looking at this hilt, which is their Obi-Wan Kenobi episode 1 hilt. Now I'll go through some of the functionality with it. It is from their Xenopixel range, which is the LGT version of Neopixel sabers. So it uses a blade that has LED strips in the blade in order to be able to get a brighter blade and lots of different blade effects, which we'll take a look at a little bit. I'm not going to go through the full functionality. I did go through some on my last video. I'll put a link at the end to that. I didn't cover all the functionality in that. It was my first video and I'm a bit rusty at making these and I missed some stuff. So I'll try and cover some of the stuff that I missed with this one. Let's start off with the look of the hilt. So, and what I've done to it. The hilt is based on Obi-Wan Kenobi's episode 1 hilt. This is the one that he loses in episode 1. Darth Maul kicks it down a power shaft during the movie. I love this hilt. I love the look of this hilt. I love the contrast between the black and the silver metal. When it arrived, this section here, between the pommel horns and the actual saber itself, that was also chromed metal. So I rubbed that back with some 500 grit sandpaper, and I sprayed it with some satin black automotive paint, because that section should be black. The other alteration I made, this red button is technically on the saber. This is the activation button. On here, this doesn't do anything. The activation button is here. This section in the real saber is not even there. This chrome sleeve just comes straight across. But on this saber, we've got the activation button and recharge port. So the recharge port, I've added a little recharge port cover. This one has a USB-C recharge port. That cover just wedges in there. A little bit fiddly, but that stops any fluff and muck and dirt getting in there. When it comes, this wheel, I think was on this side, so I moved it around to be on the correct side. It's also a smaller diameter and a longer button that you get with it when it comes. Fortunately, it's the same size thread as the thumb wheels that you can get for tightening blades in. So that's what this is. This is just a red anodized thumb wheel, and it looks very much like what's on the actual saber. I did also have some small black grub screws, which I've replaced the silver ones with for the blade retention screws, and I've added a blade plug. Other than that, this is how it comes out of the box. It's a lovely looking saber, I think. One of the nicest sabers in the Star Wars universe. So let's have a look at some of the functionality. So as with all of these, turn it on. Because this one has an exposed button, the saber didn't have an exposed button. This one has a lit exposed button. That helps you actually with the menus, because the button will blink a certain number of times to let you know which bit of the menu you're going into. So this is actually way more easy to navigate on the onboard menus on the electronics than the previous Obi-Wan Kenobi saber I showed you, the episode 4 one. So let's light it with the blade plug in so you can see that. There we go. This is a custom Obi-Wan Kenobi episode 1 font that I've put together. It's one of the fonts that comes with these LGT sabers, and I've just modified it a little bit so that it's a bit more episode 1 to my taste, really. Let's get a blade in there, and we'll have a look at some more of the functionality and things. So with this one, you just have 2 screws, little grub screws that you undo. On this particular saber, they're at 90 degrees, which is ideal. That gives you the best sort of blade retention if you're going to have 2 screws. As I said, Neopixel blade, so there's the Neopixel connector on that end of the blade, and inside the hilt, I don't know if you can see that, but there are the pins that connect to that blade. Pop the blade in, the pins are sprung loaded, so you can just feel them taking up, and then you just tighten the retention screws so that the blade is held in place. Don't need to crank them down very hard. And that's everything in terms of the blade installed. Now the Neopixel blades, when you ignite them, you can have all sorts of different ignition effects. The classic one is where the ignition will go straight up the blade. That's what's on this one. Really cool effect. When you turn the saber off, it'll go off. And as with my previous saber, this is set up the same. It has twist on and twist off. When the saber's ignited, you have flash on flash, blaster blocks, tip drag. You can see that the tip's different. I know the blades wash out on the video, so not so easy to see. And some of the functionality I didn't show last time, if you hold the button and twist the saber, I've got this set up so that it gives quotes from the movie. It's actually like a force effect. You can have any sound you want on there. I decided I'd have quotes from the movie on here. There's a force effect.
I have a bad feeling about this. I am ready to face the trials.
So it just gives quotes from Obi-Wan and other characters in the movie.
You were right about one thing, Master. The negotiations were short.
So we'll turn the blade off. Another feature with these that I didn't show last time, they have music track files on them. So if you hold the saber straight up and twist it, sorry, if you twist it the other way, it will start to play music files. Now I think on this one there's the Star Wars theme I've got on here and 2 different versions of Duel of the Fates. This is the duel with Darth Maul at the end of episode 1. And you can have those playing whilst the saber's lit as well. Other sound effects play over the top of them. And when you've had enough, you just give it a twist while the blade is off. And that's the sound files. I think that's all we need to go through with this, really. Again, when you get these from LGT, they come with, I think, 34 different fonts on them now. You can also buy additional fonts from font makers like K-Sith and Kyber Phonics. Again, I'll leave description links to their pages in the descriptions of this video. The little blade plugs don't come with it. For this particular saber, because it's a USB-C, you can pick those up really easily off of eBay or Amazon. So yeah, there we have it. That's my episode 1 Obi-Wan Kenobi lightsaber from Padawan Outpost. Fantastic saber. I really do love this saber. Yeah, and so for trooping and that sort of thing, it's perfect, really. Take the blade out and just undo the retention screws, and the blade slips right out. We'll just pop the blade plug back in. The blade plug's there. The blade plug helps. There are LEDs in the top of the connector. Without a blade plug, they can be a little bit bright. If you've got a base slit saber, which is a different technology, then they can be very, very bright, and you really need a blade plug then in order to not cause problems with people seeing such a bright light. There's one last thing. If you leave the saber for, I think it's 10 minutes, it will turn itself off and go into like a deep sleep mode. If you want to put it straight into that, you need to turn the saber on, press and hold the button, wait for the saber to go off, keep holding the button, and eventually it will play a sound to let you know it's gone into deep sleep. Now again, when you get these sabers, I think it says power off at that point. I've put on my own custom sound file, so it makes a sound like a saber shutting down. So yeah, there we have it. Obi-Wan Kenobi Episode 1 lightsaber from LGT and Padawan Outpost. Fantastic. Hope to be posting another video soon. Won't all be about lightsabers, there'll be other things coming in, but as I say, tends to be about what I'm really into at the time, and that at the moment is lightsabers. So the eagle-eyed among you may have noticed that there are a couple of spare slots on my saber collection wall behind me. One of them is for this saber, and the other will be being filled shortly by another lightsaber that's imminently inbound. For those that are interested, the saber brackets that I'm using are actually guitar brackets, which I buy from Amazon. Again, I'll leave a link in the description for anyone who's interested. They're really good, very padded. They have a little bit of movement in them so you can get the sabers looking straight. Fantastic for that purpose. I suppose the only downside with this saber, as I'm looking at it now, is that it is a complete fingerprint magnet because of the chrome finish, but that goes along with it. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. Thank you for listening to all my waffle, and hopefully I'll see you again in the next video that I do. Thank you. Bye.